Welcome to Basic Excel session number 2. In my last session, I walked you through how to build a simple financial tracker. I'm going to build on that spreadsheet and show you how to use simple functions such as sum, average, min, max, and some simple conditional formatting. Now suppose in your data you want to figure out the year-to-date total. You can use the auto sum function. So under the home tab, you click on auto sum and you see the function sum shows up. Now as you hover to the edge, you see the plus sign that shows, and if you double click, it auto fills it down. Now if you notice the pound signs over there, what it actually means is that the column width is not correct to show the data. So you actually need to expand on the column width. You can auto fit the column by hovering between the column F and G here, and it actually would fix it for you. I'm also now interested in calculating the quarterly average. I'm going to type in the average function, highlight the range, enter, and it's just average spelled out. Again, I'm going to autofill it down, so hover around the edge and double click down. Now if you're lazy like me, you love this feature. It saves you from having to drag down the formula, and it does it to the left hand side, so depending on how much data you have on the left hand column, it drags it down till there. Now I'm interested in calculating the monthly total. Again, I'm going to use auto sum, enter, and drag to the right. Now you notice that both my column D and E have the pound signs. This is because, again, the column width isn't appropriate to show the data. In order to fix both of these at the same time, there's a trick to doing it. Highlight the edge over here. It'll highlight everything, and just double click. It auto sizes all columns, and so you notice now you can actually see the data. Alright, I'm going to show you the functions min. So I want to figure out the minimum expenditure by item and the maximum as well. So the minimum function is actually just min. Enter, and again I'm going to autofill it down. Max. Autofill it down. There we go. Before moving to show you how conditional formatting works, I'd like to walk you through a concept about absolute and relative references in Excel. I'm going to select cell C6, which represents the 6th row and the 3rd column of the data set. And as you can see, I can drag it to the right and it'll actually move the reference for you. Now this is great, but what if I wanted to fix my reference as I drag to the right? The way I do it is pressing the F4 key. It adds the dollar signs for you. You can actually manually type the dollar signs, but F4 would actually change it for you. And now as you drag to the right, you'll notice that the reference has not changed. It's still pointing to C7 in each of these cells. The same concept can be applied to if you want to say lock just the columns but leave the rows flexible. You press F4 and that would be it. So as I drag to the right, things won't move, but as I drag down, things do move. So that's kind of the concept of absolute and relative references, and there are basically are 4 ways you could reference the cell. You could lock everything, you could lock the row, you could lock the column, or you could keep everything unlocked. I'm going to now use this concept in my conditional formatting. So I'm going to highlight my data, click on conditional formatting, new rule, And I'm going to use formula to determine which cells to format. So suppose I'm interested in looking at which expenditure for which month was my maximum. I want to sort of have it highlighted in red so I could keep an eye on it. I'm going to select my cell, and actually in this case I'm not going to lock anything. I actually want this reference to move, both for the rows and the columns. And now I want to figure out the max for those months specifically. Now you notice it automatically locks everything for you, but that doesn't actually work with what I need. I need to be able to move this formula down as I go down in the row. So if it was C7, I want it to be C7 to E7, that's the max. So I lock just the columns there. And I'm going to change the format and select, say, this color here. Okay. Okay. Now you see for every item that is the maximum, you will see the red highlight. And for the rent, you can tell everything is the same, so everything is the maximum, so it actually is not giving you any information here. So there you go. This is conditional formatting. I think it's a very, very useful tool, and you can actually add many different things to it. There's all kinds of functionality you have here. You can add data bars, so on and so forth, and color scales. That's a bit more advanced, but this is the same concepts can be applied to those other pieces as well. So if you have any questions regarding my YouTube video, please respond back and I will answer any questions you have. Thank you so much again.